Hello from Hollywood. My name is Anthony Boyer.
And I'm Jess Canty.
And today on Take Fountain, we're going to talk about audition terminology. So Jess, we've talked about theater auditions. We've talked about commercial auditions. We've talked about television. We've even talked about film auditions. But one thing we haven't talked about is a world I really know very little about. I work at an agency where we have a great voiceover division, and I see them listening to a ton of auditions. Can you talk a little bit about the voiceover audition process?
So voiceover auditioning is, again, similar to everything else. You're going to be sent the audition, all the information about the character, but there are a couple key things that are very different. First of all, 99% of the time, they just want an audio file. You do not need to put yourself on camera. They do not want to see you on camera. They don't need it because this is a voiceover job. So the file that you're going to be sending through as the audition is going to be an MP3 file. It's just audio. Much smaller file, much easier to record. Most smartphones these days have some kind of voice memo app. Again, if you're just starting out, recording on your phone, interestingly, in your closet is a great way to do that because your clothes are going to dampen everything. Squeeze on in there, have a little, I've seen actors with like tape up their sides for the VO audition, have a little like LED light that shines on them and they can shut the closet door and sneak in there and record that audition in there on their phone. So, and then obviously all the way up to getting professional equipment and editing software and all of that. A lot of times voiceover auditions will ask you to slate, just like everything else. In voiceover, the slate usually is just your name. So unless they ask you for something else, slate your name. Practice saying your name, just your name, where it doesn't sound like a question. It's so funny how hard that skill is, but you want to make sure, if I were doing it, I would say Jess Canty, and then I would start my voiceover audition. Obviously, you're going to want to leave a little.
If it was me, I would say Anthony.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's so funny how easy that it can sound like a question. So,
oh, did mine sound like a question?
No, not at all. Oftentimes, they do not want a reader. So they only want your side of the auditions, your side of the sides. And they will have instructions about if they want multiple takes. Quite often, the default is if you're going to send multiple takes, that's going to be a different file. There's something called wild takes or wild lines. They may want you to do the button, which is the very last tag. These are in voiceover commercials, but the last part of the scene is usually a button or a tag. So they may say that they want the entire thing read all the way through once and 3 options on the tag or 3 options on the button. They just want different delivery, different intonation on there. Sometimes they will ask you to improv. So you'll do a regular take with what's written and then an improv take. So again, you just want to follow all the instructions, but all of this is going to be audio only. That is the biggest thing about these auditions. And the fact that you do not need a reader, right, which is very different.
Thanks so much for watching.